This is Pokemon Brick Bronze, and I have to beat the entire game using just shiny Pokemon. But it's a Nuzlocke, so we do have rules to follow. Now, listen, the starter hunt. Easily the most soul-draining, brain-melting part of this entire challenge. I was stuck soft resetting for hours. But then, on reset number 606, there he was. Shiny Snivy, who chat named Larry. This was by far the dumbest thing I've ever done for a challenge, but there are no regrets, at least not yet anyway. No way was I going to do that again though, so if my team die, it's over. There are no retries. We got through Jake, barely, and finally began the challenge, many hours later. We made it to Cheshire, Linda yoinked our necklace, which was rude, but we managed to defeat her and get it back, so it's whatever. Since this is a shiny Nuzlocke, I'm forced to catch the first shiny per route. It doesn't matter if it's trash, that is literally what we're stuck with. But on Route 3, I gave up. We weren't getting a shiny, so I said screw it and full sent into the gym with just Larry. What could go wrong? Turns out, nothing. Larry soloed the gym, and that's the first gym badge secured. Now, if you know me, you already know where we're heading. Yup, it's shiny Eevee time. No matter how long it takes. Oh, never mind, that was easy. RNG finally decided to be nice. Next up, shiny Blitzel. Say hello to my little friend Strikey. Afterwards, I had hoped for a shiny Marill, but we got ugly instead. The name is chat's fault, not mine, so don't come for me. But we still had nothing good for the next gym. So we headed to the graveyard, our final chance of getting a good Pokemon. And we got Bonnie. But that's the squad, and it is now time for Brimba Gym. Now, you may be thinking, Kalo, what are you doing? You're underleveled. And yeah, fair enough. But it was fine. Well, it was fine until it wasn't.
Oh no.
The gym leader's team lowered our attack, hit us with moves that should be deemed illegal, and wiped our team out. Even Eevee. A moment of silence for Cheesecake, please. Only Larry was left, a grass type, against a fire type. We were cooked, but we managed to hit off a leech seed, and somehow we won. We got the badge while drowning in lava, but it was worth it. So yeah, our team is gone, which means it is now time to rebuild it. So meet our new squad. Scorch, Blueberry, and Nugget. I wonder if they'll live any longer than those that came before them. Spoiler alert, they did not. So once again, we were back to Larry and a whole batch of new recruits. This time, welcoming Red Velvet and Chili. Chili looks interesting, but we don't judge here. Much, anyways. We leveled up and Red Velvet evolved, so now her name finally makes sense. We hit Roscoe where Team Eclipse were doing evil things, again, but we beat most of them easily. Until this bag of taffies made me go into the cutscene early.
What is happening?
But even with that little mishap, we still clapped the admin. Then we found a shiny Shellos in the grass, aka Berry Shortcake, because Strawberry Shortcake was too long and chat gave up halfway through. Oh, and Larry finally evolved. This guy looks sick now. Roscoe Gym was like we clicked on easy mode. Larry was super effective, and honestly, I'm not complaining because we needed this break. Then I wasted a full 20 minutes shiny hunting Jirachi. The sun came up, meaning we couldn't do it anymore, and so I gave up. I did, however, find a shiny Snubbull instead, but it does scare me. We also picked up some people on Route 9. Snubbull ended up evolving and somehow got even scarier. We made it through Krogonus, caught Taco, and wasted yet another 30 minutes shiny hunting in the mines before rage quitting and beelining straight for Amphion City. In all honesty, I think the 9 hours it took to get the shiny Snivy in the beginning permanently broke my soul. And don't forget, if we die, this run is over. So stick around because things are only just getting started. I went into the 4th gym with my full team. I was confident, hyped, and ready to absolutely crush it. The first Staraptor, well, it was wiped instantly. But the moment the second Pokemon entered, everything flipped. Skarmory's defense was insane. Even our super effective moves hardly dented its health. Every turn became intense. Heal, hit, and pray. Eventually, it went down. But then, Aerodactyl came out and it was like deja vu. The same things happened over and over again. Then came a second Star Raptor, as if the first one wasn't bad enough. It almost one-shot Red Velvet and I was running out of heals. Very Shortcack was able to finish it off, but by then, the whole team was holding on for dear life. And now, his final Pokemon, Braviary. It was faster and very much ready to take us down. Some people was taken out instantly, and my potions, I only had 3 left. Sending anyone out here felt like murder. But Berry Shortcake went in anyway, and fell. Chili went in and was our final real hope. 2 flamethrowers later, somehow, Bravery was out. We won. Technically, anyway. But with 2 losses, it really didn't feel like a victory. It felt like we scraped through a disaster. After that close call, and a whole 28 hours deep, I was fed up of grinding. I pushed on and went straight into the sewers, absolutely desperate to progress. In there, we stumbled upon a shiny Farfetch'd that chat named Reacher. That was my kind of punny name. But I wasn't laughing for long. We reached Professor Cypress entirely unprepared. Our team had no type coverage and I just knew we were in trouble. Chili went head to head against his Venusaur and was immediately flattened. Red Velvet managed to avenge him, but we still had 5 more Pokemon to get through. Feraligatr went down to Larry and Blaziken just went down to Poppy. Torterra folded and Samurott got lucky. Too lucky, because Red Velvet was taken from us. Poppy finished Samurott and somehow Delphox. The final of his Pokemon was the easiest one of all. We had managed to survive again. Barely. With only 3 Pokemon left, I thanked the stars for the shiny Skiddo that we had sitting in the PC. We headed to Aridia, and by some miracle, it wasn't long before we found the shiny Hippopotas we named Moto Moto. Finally, we had a sliver of hope, but 3 of the Pokemon, Skiddo, Moto Moto and Reacher, were severely underleveled, so we headed back to train them, which was a big mistake. One trainer wiped all 3 of them, and just like that, my team was back down to 2. At that point, I was genuinely wondering if this challenge was even possible, but we had no choice to continue going forward. We were running out of places to even catch Pokemon because of the 1 encounter per route rule, so we headed to Crogonis Peak, caught Billy, and then spent 50 minutes searching the mines. For nothing. I went to Route 10 where we found Hope, then back to Old Aridia for Chad, then spent hours leveling. Boring, painful, and endless. By the time we were ready to continue, I was losing my mind. But we were going back to Aridia to win easily this time. We prevented Team Eclipse from doing whatever to Prince Ryan, and then it was gym time. The Quagsire went down no issue, and Chad took care of the Steelix. We managed to paralyze the Claydol and take it out swiftly before the Excadrill came in. Billy was sent out and oh my gosh, he was at 10% HP. That is so close. Luckily, we were now on his final Pokemon, Mega Garchomp. Half of his HP was gone in just 1 hit, another hit, and we had done it. Aridia Gym had been defeated, and for the first time in this run, I had true hope that we could do this. That feeling, however, didn't last very long, as we caught Duo Despair, and he died literally minutes later. Hope was then obliterated by a Tauros, and we were yet again down to just 3 Pokemon. I ran back, stressing myself out, and found a shiny Bronzor we named Bronze Brick. Get it? Oh, shameless self-plug here, but I started live streaming these runs. So if you want to help name some Pokemon, watch Chaos Live, or just join the community, subscribe and hit the bell. Anyway, we yet again needed more Pokemon, so I decided soft reset for a shiny Snorlax. It took quite a while, though it had nothing on the Agony from our starter. But we caught Big Boy, and after about half-hour hunting on Route 13, we had no luck, so we trained up instead. Oh, and if you like the look of any of these shiny Pokemon, have no fear, I'm giving them away, so stay tuned to find out how to enter. After filling the basket with all the fruit, we were ready to go up against Gym Leader Fissy. As always, Levany went down easily, but did leave sticky webs for us. We got a paralysis off on Tropius and he went down, but then Breloom entered and it was exactly how I expected, a nightmare. Breloom spored Big Boy and was hitting hard. which is why I should have seen this coming. But I didn't, and a critical hit came, and he was gone. Bronze Brick entered, and he was instantly slept too. I used an awakening, but he was just sent to sleep again. When he finally woke up, he managed to strike twice, and Braden finally went down. Up next was Roserade, who was no issue. The Tangrowth that followed though, he managed to one-shot Bronze Brick. It was now time for revenge. Poppy stepped up and destroyed Tangrowth. His final Pokemon, Mega Venusaur, came in and Chad went against him because he does have ice moves. But the damage was pathetic and he went down. Poppy came back and clutched it, finishing the Venusaur. Thankful that we have Poppy, we gained the 6th gym badge, but at a massive cost. Half our team was gone, just like that. And with 2 Pokemon left, we had no choice but to rebuild. Again. So on Route 14, we got Muncher, the shiny Loudred. He evolved fast, but when we got caught by Team Eclipse, yep, Jake's Nidoking one-shot him and we were back down to 2. But continuing on, Route 15 gave us Frigibacks, who was named Godzilla, and we had 3 Pokemon, but 1 shared goal, to beat the 7th gym. Was it even possible with just 3? I guess we shall find out. Zeke began with Honchkrow, which was wiped out by Poppy's Playrough. Godzilla then deleted the Bisharp, Poppy destroyed the Umbreon and the Pangoro. Now the final Pokemon, Mega Houndoom. We kept Poppy in and 1 Brick Break, followed by another, was all that was needed to take him down. And that was it. The 7th gym badge was claimed. I guess it is possible with just 3 Pokemon after all. We adjusted a couple moves and then immediately faced Tess. Godzilla beat Garchomp and Salamence, but Haxorus came in and Godzilla's reign was over. We just cannot catch a break because once again, just Larry and Poppy remained. Luckily for us, they wiped the rest of Tess's team like the legends that they are. We were definitely running on borrowed time though, but we were still alive, so onwards we went. We had to catch more Pokemon, no doubt about it, and Route 16 gave us Battle. With Surf now unlocked, our plan was to fish for Dreepy, my dream Pokemon. But it turns out you can't even fish for Dreepy in this version because he is found in the grass. And we did not need another grass type, so we settled for catching a shiny Feebas, Hyacinth. Later on, at the Path of Truth, we caught Kaido, but we did lose Battle in the process, so I'm not entirely sure that it was worth it. We finally reached Crescent Town, and here we caught Jellius. We also ended up venturing to Timbal Tower for Octoclo, and finally, we were at a full team again. A Prism Scale was needed for Feebas, so I literally ate through piles of sushi for it, and had to trust chat to trade it back, and they did. Thank gosh. Again, we changed a couple moves around and then we stormed our way into the Eclipse base. All of the trainers were absolutely nothing. Well, except me, again forgetting to click the stupid button in this room and running around like a headless chicken confused. But eventually, we reached Jake. Poppy had a close call with his Zeb Striker, but Larry came in to save the day. Both Jake's Nidoking and his Slowbro were easy targets for Larry, as he took them down swiftly. Arcanine came in, so Hyacinth took over. Kaido was able to take down Delmice, and Jellius was able to take down his Vaporeon. And just like that, the Eclipse base had been conquered. One final pit stop before we can do the final gym, the Hooper situation, aka the final battle against Professor Cypress. He began with Greninja, which easily fell to Larry. Decidueye came in and barely survived Hyacinth, vice versa, but Kaido finished it off. Incineroar burned Jellius hard, so Poppy went in and took him down. Empoleon dropped, and Sceptile had a great time with Octoclo and Kaido. But then it was time for the final Pokemon, Mega Charizard. And let me tell you something, it hit hard. But so did Poppy. We somehow managed to outspeed it, but we missed.
No,
oh
God,
my
please,
gosh.
no,
Poppy
no.
is so dead. Oh, wait, the Charizard is paralyzed. I just cannot believe our luck. One final hit and that was it. We got so lucky there. For once, everything ran in our favour. Now for the final gym. Captain B began with Gengar, which was taken down by a single crunch. Decidueye came up and clung on, but ultimately fell as well. Spiritomb was then one-shot by Playrough, and Mismagius followed the pattern by being one-shot by Crunch. Aegislash gave us a bit more of a battle compared to the rest, but still, he went down to Poppy and her Crunch, and for her final Pokemon, Mega Sableye. Crunch barely scratched him, and we ended up being poisoned. It was not looking good. We healed, killed the poison, and prayed, and just 3 crunches later, we came out victorious. In almost 51 hours, we have defeated all 8 gyms, but with 25 deaths, I knew the Elite Four would destroy us. Unless we changed everything. That's when it was decided we were getting Necrozma. Well, to be precise, Solgaleo Necrozma. We decided to go back a few routes just to get some backups. In the Safari Zone, we got Deerling, and on Route 1, we got a Squovet, and on Route 2, we got a Dubwheel. Yep, nothing good. So we made our way back to Victory Road and got our Cosmog and evolved it into Solgaleo. Luckily, all we had to do was go around the corner here and we were in Necrozma territory, and 25 encounters later, we saw the epic sparkles. We then fused the 2 Pokemon together and out came our shiny Solcrozma, or as we called him, Necrosis, our final hope at winning this entire thing. And to celebrate finally getting our shiny Necrozma, I'm giving away a bunch of the shiny Pokemon seen in this run. If you're interested, find out how to enter in the description below. For the final time in this run, we swapped a couple moves around. We went on to bash Tess's head in, and finally it was time for the Elite Four. The first Elite Four member is Fire type, meaning we should be fine. We have 2 Water type Pokemon, so there's no way we lose here. They began with Arcanine and we went with Hyacinth. And of course, we managed to one-shot it. Next up was Chandelure, who we also one-shot. Holy moly. If this continues, we are vibing through this Elite Four. Volcarona came in and got us below half health, but again, it was one-shot. We probably should have healed here, I'm not sure why we didn't. We somehow managed to get rid of the Torkoal. That's insane. We did heal this time and went up against Mega Charizard. It was hitting and doing more than half my health, so I thought, why not just heal a bunch and wait for it to do minimal damage? Well, wasn't that a mistake? Rookie error is not checking out the opponent's team and not thinking about what moves they could have. We got smashed by a Solar Beam, and Hyacinth was gone. Now, what happened next wasn't my fault. I don't exactly know what was going through my brain at this point, but I sent in Jellius and attempted to hit the Charizard with Brine. As you can see, that did not work out at all. Here, I was stressed. We lost all our super effective Pokemon for this typing. I had to brainstorm hard. Poppy, our goat, went in and whoa, that was so close. And that repeated a couple times. My heart was pounding out of my chest. Then came our opportunity, Crunch, and our speed increased. It roosted the tiniest of health back, and oh, it is so low. One more hit? Yes, the Charizard was taken down, but now was his final Pokemon Heatran. We stuck with Poppy and hit it with a Brick Break. It didn't do a whole lot of damage, but some is better than none. It poisoned us and we had a little bit of a battle on our hands, since poison damage increases after every round. But we hit it and it was down. What the heck? That guy was left on a sliver of HP. Well, it was definitely dead the next hit, and we won against the first Elite Four member. With 2 Pokemon down though, we decided since you can leave to go to the shop, we would go and replace the 2 slots we had with the awful Pokemon that we caught earlier. So, welcome to the team Gengar and Dubwheel, aka Poop and Sean. I caught the Gengar off stream when I was trying to catch all the Halloween reskins. The second Elite Four member is Ice type. First up was Chien-Pao, which is scary to say the least, and I was right to be worried. One single Sacred Sword sent Sean to his end. I sent Poppy in, and after she tanked a hit, he was one-shot. Oh my goodness. 1 HP? Really? I hate Focus Slash with a burning passion. Well, it was fine because he went down in the next hit anyway. Next up was Glaceon, and well, we didn't do much against it, but it spammed Protect, so it was an easy battle either way. Next in was Weavile, and a Brick Break took him out of this equation. Then came Kyurem, and well, I was scared, but he used a Dragon move which is ineffective against Poppy, so again, we had a free kill. Frostlass followed, and a Fire Punch from us lowered it down a bunch. It placed spikes, but we couldn't really care less and took it out as well. Now finally was Aurorus, who was adorable may I add, but 1 Brick Break and that was gone too. I think that was probably our easiest Elite Four member from a run so far. Now, we had an attempt with the third Elite Four member, had ourselves in quite a pickle, and then, I think fate was on my side here. So now for the actual run. They started with Hatterene, which was not too bad. Necrosis set up a bunch of Dragon Dancers and managed to one-shot it with Ironhead. Next came Iron Valiant, which looks so cool, may I add, and we sent Poop in. Poop megaed, and again, we managed to one-shot them. Next was Azumarill, and I sent in Larry, truly believing that he could too one-shot. However, we couldn't one-shot, but the Azumarill could. Poppy went in and took a lot of damage, but also ended the Azumarill, so it's fine. Then came Mega Marwile. We sent Necrosis in and Dragon Danced a few times while the Marwile was Sword Dancing. I couldn't max out Dragon Dance since it was like whoever hit first will win because of all these setups, but it was fine. An Earthquake took it out. Then a Clefable, which did paralyze us, but we managed to hit through the paralysis to end them. The final Pokemon was a Tapu Koko, and somehow a single Earthquake also took that one down too. And that was that. We did have a technical difficulty, but hey, we are now moving on to the final Elite Four member. The final Elite Four member specializes in ghost types. We replaced Larry with our final backup Pokemon Ho-Ho-Ho and just prayed that we wouldn't lose anyone else, because then we are at a major disadvantage for the champion. They began with one of my fave Pokemon, Dragapult. We used this as our chance to spam Sword Dance because he kept trying to use a ghost move against us, the normal type Pokemon. What an idiot. We took it out easily, and next in was Mega Gengar, which hit us with a Sludge Wave and left us on literally 10 HP. Thankfully, we took it out in one hit, otherwise this would have been detrimental. Next up was Skeledirge, and if it uses Torch Song, we are in trouble. It began by burning us, and yep, there was the Torch Song. I decided to sacrifice Ho-Ho-Ho so we could have a free switch in, and sent Mega Poop in, which was luckily able to one-shot it with a Shadow Ball. Then there was Mimikyu, so we used a Sludge Bomb, and of course it was disguised, so we healed up a couple times, but so much damage was being done against us. We switched into Greedy, and thankfully the Mimikyu is poison, so all we had to do really was survive. Mimikyu attempted Shadow Sneak, but of course it didn't hit, so we took this time we had to Swords Dance, readying up for the next Pokemon, Aegislash. It came in, attempted a Shadow Ball, and we managed to one-shot it with Crunch. Now, the final Pokemon, Calyrex. 2 crunches and it went down. Greedy is still at full health. Isn't that crazy? And now finally, the champion. Almost 57 hours, 28 deaths, one final fight. We really couldn't afford to lose this when we have put so much in. We led with Necrosis, as he led with Magiana. We Dragon Danced a couple times, well, as many times as we could before it ended itself from recoil damage. Feraligatr came in next, and we were so close to one-shotting it with an Earthquake. Thankfully, it lost the remainder of its HP, so we were golden. Next in was Lycanroc, which was one-shot by Ironhead. Easy. Then was Aegislash again, and it got us so low. But, just like last time, one Earthquake and it was gone. Now we have Mega Glalie, who immediately took 60% of our health. I risked an Ironhead and oh my, it one-shot as well. I can't believe this. Now we're on to the final Pokemon, Kyurem. We tried Ironhead again, and guys, we took it down. We have defeated the champion. After nearly 60 hours, endless soft resets, and more heartbreak than I can count, we actually did it. We beat Pokemon Brick Bronze using only shiny Pokemon. Oh, and don't forget the shiny giveaway is live right now. Check the description on how to enter before time runs out.